I don't believe what I just saw. So I'll do a separate video for the two goats that passed in 1 week. And Scully and Bill Russell. But this CNBC has mentioned the F word. 4,165 days too late. And you ought to read this. On the verge of a $1 trillion renaissance. One accident away. You all act like you don't know as the cancer slowly grows. Here's the thing that kills me about Fukushima. It don't give a fuck about your socioeconomic status. Billionaires, zero. By the way, I'm a 1%er. I'm in the 1% study. And we know that people that struggle, people that are actually homeless, freaking think they out-survive rich people with cancer. Because they know how to fight. They know what the struggle is. They know what it is. Rich people don't. You know that letter that Jobs supposedly wrote? One of my doctors was one of Steve Jobs' doctors. Rob, I asked him point blank. You think he wrote that letter? Yeah. I can't pay somebody to fight cancer for me, can I? You think your money will save you. Take all your money. Everybody that's got all that. I've had so many people promise me so much money along the way. And every time, you know, they back, take your money and maybe you can pad your freaking casket with it and stick it in your fucking ass. So all these years, by the way, I want to say this. The trial of Alex Jones is exposing what I've always known. Alex Jones is the most vile, disgusting, sickening fucking human being in a modern era. Of anybody on earth. There is nothing more vile and sickening than Alex Jones. You know, Alex Jones took on Fukushima to sell water bunkers and Patriot gear, and his fucking crowd, they're disgusting, sickening. These are the most sickening people who ever walked the face. Self-indulged, they were war profiteer. He admits on the stand, well, I knew that it was real, but he profited, and they released his financials. At one point, he was bringing in $800,000 a day. You heard me right. You know, you go back to Fukushima. I go back to it. It was so real. What he did to it. You know, him, Rance, all these creeps. Fucking, you know, they got on Kevin Blanch's cancer, dying. I'm going, fuck. They profit off the death of the fucking children, fucking Alex Jones did. Fuck, why would he not fucking profit off fucking somebody fighting his ass off, struggling with fucking cancer? The attack, I mean, I remember being in LA when Diablo Canyon was announced that it was fucking closed. And Kurt tells me, he says, come here, look at this. You've probably never seen this before. I save everything. He had it online. I mean, video of Alex Jones. People mutually exclusive calling in. Well, why won't you have Kevin Blanch on your fucking show? He's the world's foremost expert on that fucking Fukushima disaster. He's the only one that's had it fucking right. And he's doing all the work. He's out there walking the coast right now. Well, Kevin Blanch is an activist. In his divorce trial, he said, I'm a performance artist. His ex-wife has called into the judge and says, I have information on, well, she's went to the January 6th committee. I mean, it's got to be the most vile human being who ever walked the face of the earth. I go back to the Fukushima dying. Everybody took it on and fucking stole the thunder and just got on my back and fucking just used me. My videos were everywhere. They put them on their websites to sell water filters, to sell bunkers, to sell supplements. By the way, I'm a survivor, 1% survivor. I was given too much to live. My doctor says I'm the biggest miracle in his 40 years. Supplements don't work. Iodine don't work. I'll quote my dietitian. You get your health and your nutrition from real food. You know, the walking, the fight. And if you want to know how you fight back against the people that did this to you, you don't support war profiteers. You don't support tragic profiteers. I didn't profit from this. I mean, I've struggled. I've raised maybe 20 grand a fucking year and I've done 35. I've had to sell about everything I own. I've been selling off stuff. I mean, haven't been able to borrow because don't even have a car. I mean, John Steinbeck, if you're ever in need, I mean, I'm in the Central Coast picking with the pickers. Yeah. If you're ever in need, go to the poor people. They're the only ones that will help. They're the only ones. My old beat up fucking car, migrant worker picker. Says, here, give me $800 for that fucking piece of shit. He says, no. When I went to pick it up, he says, give me $4. That's good enough. Just give me whatever you got. And it's gone. You know, I've raised 20 grand a year when Alex Jones was raising 800,000 a day off the same dynamic. It just shows, you know, where that you go. Real activism, fighting, accomplished activists. We don't fucking make any of them. Tim Martin was asking me, that was him just calling, how much you think you make? I says, I make about minus fucking $26 an hour. You know, but I fight on. He's the most disgusting, vile human being, fucking one of them that ever walked the face of the fucking earth. I don't think Putin would fucking profiteer off the death of children. Fucking the Fukushima disaster, I look back at all of them. You go to their websites, buy bunkers, buy water filters, buy food supplement, Patriot Gear, Salt Lake! It's disgusting. And they had my videos on their websites without even asking my permission. Don't you think when you're pulling in $800,000 a year and you're using a guy's videos? I mean, all these guys. I was everywhere and everything. I remember my moratorium. I says, I will not do fucking interviews. I refused to enter the interviews for a long time because they just used to crop and chop me, and fucking these war profiteers were out. I knew they were out. I was not going to let people profit off fucking people suffering. No way. And, so remember, I broke my moratorium in February of 2013. I says, okay, fuck it. Everybody pressure on me. And I did a video. I says, I'll do interviews. I did 90 interviews in 60 days. Oh, you should have heard them. Oh, fuck. Every fucking selfish, self-indulged, alt media freak show. Oh. There's some good ones, but most of them, oh, fuck. It was insanity. Yeah, I mean, and so, they're like, fuck, really? Now I know why I had them. So, I don't believe what I just saw, the two goats, but I'll do a separate video on those because they're the opposite of Alex Jones. And CNBC has said the F word. $1 trillion renaissance. There's no renaissance in nuclear energy. There's a renaissance in getting money to build. So again, they're profiteers. You know, they'll build a nuclear reactor or get money to build a nuclear reactor to poison the planet. Hell of a way to boil a planet. Kevin Blanch, March 12, 2011. I've been on this for all the right reasons my whole life. This YouTube site's nothing new. And what did I get? I got attacked. I mean, when my own government, fuck it, I proved it. I went to the FBI. Mike Lee kicked me off Medicaid when I was in the LDS East 8 Acute Bone Marrow Transplant Center. I was so vilely sick. So sick, I was due to have my gallbladder cut out because the chemo had wore out. And I'll never forget it. They call and they're like, you're uninsured. I says, I'm on Medicaid. After I forked over $1 million, by the way. You go from $1 million to wondering if you have enough money to eat. I was out there walking on the coast, literally thinking I was going to starve. Michelle Grant used to send me $50 or $75 a month. And Billy Johnson from Scotland used to put 100 or 200 euros in a book once every 2 or 3 months and send to me. I was literally starving to death. I went from a millionaire to starving to death. I had no safety net. I was kicked off Medicaid. They says, well, you're kicked off Medicaid. What? What are you talking about? When he kicked everybody off, sent his idealistic stand. Almost cost me my life. So they wouldn't operate. Oh, it ruptured. I mean, destroyed my credit. Oh, they're vicious. They don't care. They don't care what situation you're in. Like Alex Jones. Vicious. No compassion for mourners. I mean, war profiteering off the death of children. And his supporters. I want you to think about that. Think about the people that support that, saying, you wonder why this country is so fucked up. It's a selfishness plague. I've been watching this trial. It's the most disgusting thing I ever fucked. And I knew it was and I knew he was a vile, sick creep. He says straight up, well, I always knew that this was real. Attorney straight up. So you profited off it. That's what you were all about. It's disgusting. You know, so CNBC is disgusting. Owned by GE. Hell of a way to... So they're going to mention the Fukushima war. 4,165 days too late. Huh. You know, and I would like to say all these billionaires, gazillionaires that promised me they'd help me, they'd do this, fucking... I mean, I had so many people that did that to me. So many. I remember this woman from LA, you know, worth probably $100 million. Kevin, I'm going to help you set up your foundation, the Post Ignorance Project. I'm going to give you $500,000. Her son shows up. And, you could see he was, oh, fuck, God forbid, Never, ever happened. None of it ever happened. Never happened, any of it. That's all right. The people that have supported this in a grassroots, fundamental foundation way, I guess that's the way it had to be, right? I guess that's what it was supposed to be. Get by with a little help from my friends. This historic, important. I'm going to make a book one day of everybody that supported this thing. Everybody says you need to write a book, like Colette says. The book would have to be 10 feet thick. So I'll get out the Enola Gay hangar on Saturday. Take the bus or hitchhike. I'll get out there. My limp in my car. I got a couple days before. I'm working on it. It's got 5 different issues on emissions. I'm trying. Again, John Steinbeck, George ain't gonna let me tend them fucking rabbits. If you're ever in need, don't go to the rich people. And again, did Steve Jobs write that? One of my doctors was one of his doctors, Rob. Told me, I asked him straight up. Think Steve? Yeah, he was with him at the end. I says, you think Steve really wrote that? And I've never read that letter. He called himself every name in the book. Says, I can't pay somebody to fight. But, so take your coffin and pad your fucking, line it up about this fucking thick on ceilings. And pad it with your, maybe you can bury yourself with your Bitcoin. Alex Jones is the most disgusting, vile human being, one of them in fucking history. Watching this trial make me fucking... And everybody that took on Fukushima and rode my fucking back, and then as soon as their Lord and Savior became president, Donald Trump, you're gonna go to prison, you're gonna do all this. Fuck Trump. Fuck, he played you. Just like Alex Jones played you. Not me. I'm in it for all the right. Always have been my whole life. When you watch him load your father in the body bag. When you watch your mate, Annika from Kiev, died at 38 years old of this disease. When a doctor looks you right in the fucking eyes and says, you got 2 months to live, after you've watched the, 2 really close people of you go, at some point you throw down. It's been a hell of a fight. It's been a hell of a journey, and it goes on. This fight ain't over. CNBC makes me sick. Remember when I used to freaking interrupt them and go crazy at Flood Wall Street? I mean, I've gone after CNBC. Remember when I was on set, holding up my Fukushima sign on set in Times Square, CNBC? That's clear back 2013, 14, when I weighed 119 pounds. Fuck, what a journey. What a fight. Learned a lot about people. How disgusting and vile. This country has a problem. Disgusting. It's the great selfishness plague. We're consuming over 50% of the world's product. This country is disgusting. They never grew up. Baby boomers is the right fucking name for them. Selfish, self-indulged, sickening. Fucking, there's an integrity crisis. People will have been socially manufactured and engineered to fucking profit on anything. Ask Alex Jones, including the death of children. Makes me fucking want to vomit. Fuck you, fucking CNBC. Fuck you, Alex Jones. Fuck all fucking you, fucking war profiteering pigs. I don't believe in violence. You do. I just keep doing the work, and I said it for years. How you gonna handle this? I says, let Mother Nature. Mother Nature will fucking do this. Mother Nature, karma will handle it all. I just keep doing my work. I fight for her. She fights for we. And to everybody who's had a loved one lost of this brutal, fucking ugly disease called AML leukemia, they don't lose. They don't lose their fights. They win their fights. The people that fight. Only the good die young. My journey wasn't over yet. My journey's got a ways to go. This fight, Freedom Eisenbauer in Vienna, Austria, on the 200th anniversary of Waterloo, who requested the meeting with me. 4 hours she grilled me. She told Provide she was worried about her English. Perfect good 4 hours she grilled me. I never picked this fight, Kevin. You never picked this fight. I know your path. I know your father's path. You picked us. You're the tip of the spear. Don't you drop it. So, and I won't. Her first question out of her mouth to me was, Kevin, do you know how much nuclear energy electricity a nuclear reactor produces. And I says, most of them produce negative because they have 40 years of spent fuel stored on site and they have to keep it cool with external sources. I knew you'd know. I knew you'd know. You're it. Tag, you're it. Thank you, everybody. Support historic work. The fight goes on. I'm the opposite of Alex Jones. I am absolutely the opposite of that dude and his fucking creepy followers. It creeps me out. They creep me out. Stay tuned.